Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back. So, fortunately, again today we got that light up above us, but it is what it is. So, yesterday, killer lat workout. We went through our normal part of the routine, got to our abs, and then still had some energy left after moving up the weights on quite a bit of the movements. And so we went ahead and hit some wide grip and some neutral grip pull ups on the assisted machine. At the end of the workout, I'm not doing those at body weight. They wouldn't be effective and really wouldn't get that many good, clean reps out of it, anyways. So, went ahead and did 110 pounds of assistance. So, just under 50 or just over 50% of body weight. I was able to hit them for 2 sets each, 10 reps, nice and clean, solid squeezing reps. Felt pretty good about that. So I know fresh I could hit four, maybe 5 sets at 10 to 12. But at body weight, no assist. So it's not that I can't do them, just not doing them after already the short lats. So that's one of the things that we can kind of talk about, right? Is when is it good to do a specific exercise first versus last? In general, anything that's going to be super heavy, you want to keep in your first, second, or third set or movement for the day. Because one, that's when your energy stores are still going to be the highest that are going to be readily available. It's also when you're going to have the highest amount of ATP available and your central nervous system is intact yet. So it'll give you a better control and contraction over the heavier weight than later in the exercise. So I normally try to do two-handed, two-legged stuff first because it's one, going to be heavier, more of a compound type movement. Then the next 4, 5, or 6 exercises, normally it's going to be 3 or 4 for the main muscle group, 3 or 4 for the accessory. But in days like my lats, it's 7 movements for just lats because you can kind of break them down into 3 separate muscle groups almost. Your upper, mid, and lower lats, because each one kind of requires a different way of hitting it. So it's still the main major group, but it works differently. Think of it the same as your shoulder. Got your front delt, side delt, rear delt. What you do for one doesn't work for the other 3 heads. So by doing that, I'm going to work my upper lat first because it's the strongest and gets the heaviest movements. Then I go into mid lat and lower lat because my mid and lowers require a little less weight, a little stricter form, and isolated type movements. So the weights naturally just get lower, so it's easier for your central nervous system to fire that, and it doesn't require as much ATP and energy stores because the weight is lower. And then you're kind of going from moving the heavy weight to tear the muscle down, going into the controlled, slow squeezing reps to get as much blood as you can pushed into it to blow it up like a balloon. So that's what works for me, and that's how I train all of my muscles. So now the big heavy weights, they're great, but those slow squeezing reps also make a big difference in how well your technique can be. So the better those reps get, the more your technique increases for the big heavy reps. and the better those get. Till you're fatigued, and then you add in that body English. That should be your, end of your second set, last 2 reps or something. Third set, your last 4 or 5 can be dirty. As long as you're getting that weight moved, you're still controlling it and just not swinging it. And you're going to get some growth from it. So it's a way to kind of look at it. So you want to add in that variety. You don't want to constantly just only lift super heavy, but you also don't always want to lift super contracted and slow either. So I'm not saying that isn't heavy, but it's definitely nowhere near maximum load. But the problem with maximum load all the time, it tends to beat up on your joints. So it's kind of a variation of the two. It's going to create the most growth over time without injury. By doing that, that's how you stay consistent. So if you don't have an injury to work around, you can always hit what you're supposed to be hitting. But when you're injured, you kind of have to skip it or back it way down. Then the consistency kind of falls off. You lose that drive. Not saying motivation, because motivation that shit comes and goes. But when you're doing that, it makes it a whole lot more simple because you get to continuously see progress over every couple months, right? Like you're not going to see it weekly. But that, guys, we're going to leave that off here. Make sure you're working towards goals, getting your stuff done. Most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.